Well, it is February 13th, Mountain Time, 40 minutes into the day before Valentine's Day. Sorry for the wrong timing. Let me go ahead and bring in our frequency here. This is a discussion though, okay? I'm just like, we're here to love ourselves, let our spirit be free. We're going to resonate on this 528 hertz frequency while I'm going through this discussion. But just so you know, this isn't to do a meditation today. This is to do an update for the week. So, the weekly update, I don't know if I can do them every single week, but I think every once in a while, in the vein of how I've been using the new group, the 7 Chakra Tiers, which is here on Facebook, right? So if you're, nope, it's over here. Right down here. So go to Facebook, search the 7 Chakra Tiers, you should find the public group, okay? This otherwise is up on the YouTube channel, my channel, Knox Studios. And I invite you to listen today. What does this all come down to? Why are we even doing this damn video? Well, as a result of setting intentions, I hope that, if anything, it can begin to be witnessed, understood, why I'm writing all the stuff I am, and I guess what I'm learning in the process. So I don't know if this is for you, but I know it's for me. I know that to start this month, I was very conflicted about relationship that I've been seeking after to a degree for a while now. And not in any romantic way, just as a mode of friendship and maybe overstepping. So as I came into February 2nd, I set some intention that this month I need to simply look and observe how love is showing up in my life. And if there is any asset, the first thing that came to mind that I wrote was that the greatest asset was time. And as I moved through a couple days of loss and really observing the fact that in these days of higher emotions than usual, some of the people I had at like the top of my list being independents for whatever reason, they weren't making the calls, they weren't showing up, they weren't even responding to texts or simple anything. And there's a fault, like there's an observation of myself too, which is key and is very, very paramount. This is the part of reflection. This is the more important part. It's not to say, how are you not showing up for me, but it's to say, where and how can I start showing up for you? And as I may have made a mistake here or there and setting a new boundary, I don't believe that that's the case now, because the moment that I send out this message that said basically, I feel that I've enacted every single way of approaching this in the best way possible, giving you a smaller microcosm of my attention, hoping on this lingering part of my heart that you might desire something in the same vein that I've also desired. And no matter how many words I spend out there, it's always going to come down to the actions and the way that I show up. And so a couple days later, here on the 5th, I had to make this really seemingly subtle intention. I had to really come into a space and recognize that I'm the only one that can define my experience. I'm the only one that's responsible for the way that life is showing up for me. The manifestation of how I perceive the world and all that. And so here on February 5th, 9:03 a.m., as don't know where I was exactly. I may have had a day off, probably. But I'm waking up on my last day, knowing I have some letter to send, some message to share. This isn't in the vein of good or bad. This is that I'm no longer willing to have the same damn experience I had yesterday or last year in my last relationships. I'm no longer willing to just keep pursuing this and investing my time with no reward, no nothing. And for whatever reason, I need to take back that personal power back, that third chakra, that solar plexus, get back to my gut. I had a gut feeling, right? That I wasn't being filled up. Maybe it is an expectation. Maybe it is just the fact that I don't believe that that's true friendship when someone doesn't show up for me and isn't being honest with me about why they can't follow through with the words, that commitments that they make. And so I took a stand about a week ago, which is one of the main reasons for this video, obviously. And I began just kind of writing, because there's a truth to the fact that it's easy to just copy and paste, the copy and paste life, right? Well, this makes me feel good, let's pay it forward. And that's all good, and that's great. And I think that's wonderful. And keep doing it if that's what you're doing. But there's a part of me that needs to be even lower than that gut feeling. It's part of me. It's that creativity in my sacral chakra. It's that part of me that makes me really passionate about life. You know, it's very emotional though. It's that emotion of I feel like you hurt my feelings, and I feel like you did this and that and the other. So I digress a bit. So what did this intention come down to? It's to ask myself, am I willing today, the 5th of February, to break away from my comfort zone, to become uncomfortably known and open myself up to having a new experience? Because what is this about? Am I going to have a good experience, a bad experience? Well, hell with that. I want a new experience, not an old experience. I'm no longer needing to sit in this good or bad. That limits me, and as this meme that inspired this message I wrote comes from Ram Dass. Free yourself from the illusion of a good and bad day. Labeling time makes us nostalgic of the past and demanding of the future. There is only here and now. Let it be. Let go. Sit there by the fire, enjoy the moment, become present. Allow that energy to flow all the way through my body and resonate. This is what I needed to do a week ago. So what have we done since? I did an evening meditation, butterfly effect round 2, reviewing that intention. We posted a couple things, recommended, and then we came to this. I am always doing what I cannot do yet in order to learn how to do it. We need to learn something. I need to learn something. So today I brought 6 days ago an expansion of my abilities and this willingness to grow in all areas of my life to the forefront today. I need to bring this into attention. Now I'm at this precipice of my life. I just said goodbye to this person I've been holding to some esteem and some high level of coveting. I don't know. Something that may not have been intended for me. I'm now needing to let go of that. So help me learn something from this. And I write, bring expansion of my abilities and willingness to grow in all areas of my life to the forefront today, to recognize that it is not sufficient ever to rest within any perceived limitation for comfort's sake. I cannot sit here just because it's freaking comfortable. Done with that. This is including the groups of friends, some creative pursuits, perceived borders, and all cultural and historical ideologies. I will aim to continually do that which is uncomfortable for the purpose of growth and to learning. And as I go through this day, just like kind of an acceptance phase of just, I don't want to hurt like this anymore. I don't want to keep feeling let down. I don't want to keep feeling the abandonment resurface. This is a choice, an ongoing choice. I'm no longer willing to have. Thank you, Van Gogh. Thank you for continuing to do the uncomfortable, sitting on the outskirts of essentially what it is that makes us uncomfortable in order to grow, in order to learn something new. So I meditate on that night, so on and so forth. So this is the week. This is why we do these. And then I have to recognize, okay, this whole group's about chakras and centers, and how do I grow from the root chakra and finally get to this precipice of just like an understanding. How do I get from that bottom level here? So let's refocus. What can we do this day? And apparently this is what comes to it. Who the hell am I? There is this paradox between fear and love, right? Opposing forces. But love isn't here. Love is here in the middle. It's in the heart chakra, right? In the center fold. So when the issue here is it's resonating is related to a relationship, a friendship, or otherwise, I need to focus here and recognize that I'm not here to survive anymore. I'm here to thrive. And I hope that every time that I do any breath work, any meditative practice, any writing, any creative outlet, that I'm cultivating something within me that becomes valuable to another person. Because only when I really fully balance all these, I move out of fear. I move out of guilt. I move out of pain. I move out of shame. I move into honesty. I move into observation. And I move into a greater understanding and letting go of these things that no longer serve me, these ego attachments. That then, and only then, and in the pursuit of these things, am I really going to be showing up for anyone else effectively. So here I had to recognize that this fear, that's what's opposing this experience of love. That's what's like keeping me in the same experience, in the old experience, the cyclical experience. And it's like day 3 of just saying, hey, screw this, I'm out. On to the next meditation. That's focused in there as well. And here's a big one. 4 days ago. Let's get back to that root. Let's face the fear, right? What is the fear? The fear is me. It's that part of myself that I've avoided, I haven't wanted to look at because it's just so comfortable, it's just so familiar, and it's just this and that. So is it so hard to believe that my lack of connection to this earth and nature has prevented me from experiencing this life at higher levels of consciousness? Or perhaps that until I bring intention to the very root of myself in connection with my creativity and my skills, talents, and nature, that I can continue to be burdened, and I will continue to be burdened by these unconscious contact, the unaware experience of life, with other suffering human beings who may or may not be also disingenuous or disconnected. So this was a huge intentional day, and I needed to set aside this intention to observe nature and appreciate. Appreciate what, you may ask? All 5 of these senses, the ability to touch, to see, to taste, to hear, and I'm probably missing one. But nonetheless, like to endeavor into the experience of sensation. To have a new experience is one thing, but also just to focus and meditate and allow to listen to those senses, and not again as a good or bad innuendo. I need to carry over the messages from before into here, and that's how this works. As I grow on these intentions, this awareness is no longer sufficient to avoid. It's a ability to create uncomfortable scenarios or situations that I don't necessarily want to do or make, so that I can have a new experience or a new challenge. I had to be challenged this week. Finally got some people participating. We opened up a couple new chats for those that are interested. There's a chakra art chat. Do not be tentative here. Like, that is for all art, writing, whatever it is that you do to create that creativity in you. I also have a new chat about reflections, like daily readings, things that you might be reading. Just make sure to cite, of course, the author and maybe the book itself. And then obviously some meditation invitations, so that some of these live videos, when I get them on a routine, I can just focus and put those there. But thank you, Kathy, for suggesting the art chat. That really is a great idea. And then my buddy Jeff comes in. And then I needed to do something to double down on this root chakra and refocus back to what the root chakra is about. I was able to do a full discussion, so I posted an article in there, some more group participation. Thank you, Spirit and the Chi, from Spring, Texas. Appreciate that. And then the discussion here is posted as well. So from here now, I recognize, like, there's some momentum going on in the channel. Like, this is great, and there's actually something going on, and let's lean in on this. Let's keep doing that, because this is really, like, there's a growth spurt that's occurred in this last week, even in these first 3 days. It's just like, okay, it's worked. I let go. I'm feeling better. Didn't expect that. When I say goodbye to things in the past, I usually just, like, there's a sulking period, there's whatever, I'm not gonna get into the details, but, like, you know what that is. Like, there's a grief period, denial, all the way through depression to the upward swing, and then finally maybe back to a better part again. But this is personal power doubled down again. Through my staying rooted, doing the root chakra, then going into this, talking about the water energy. The ocean does not apologize for its depth, and the mountains does not seek forgiveness for the space they take. So neither shall I, by Becca Lee. Simply write something about, I don't no longer am here to apologize either. I am a part of me. I need to find this personal power in my gut. I am no longer willing to just sit and accept the consequence of this or that when it's not something that is. I need to be willing to set a boundary. So I am not going to sit here and apologize for how big or deep I am either. Very empowering day. And the very next day I hit 100. We literally doubled from like 50 members to 100 members within 6 days, 5-6 days. And of all people, that 100 person is a friend of mine, Jenna Lee, who I hope in the future here very soon I can bring on the channel and do a long form interview with. She's agreed to do that. It's just going to be a matter of setting it up on the right time. And from here, the new moon was upon us and setting new intentions. So I did a tarot reading that I really enjoyed and appreciated. It just seemed really poignant to my experience. Again, this is my experience. I'm just sharing it with y'all. And again, we need to double down on this love versus fear. Love versus fear. Love 5,000 times bigger than fear. How does that happen? Well, I don't know how it happens, but this is the best way I can make sense of it. When I am emitting this love frequency and not taking it for granted and living in these personal power of who I am within the boundaries that I've set thus far this week, that I'm not going to just be satisfied with having to maintain my outlook and my positivity at this level because that's what you need from me. No. That is not impactful to you. That is not memorable. Instead, I refuse to put on a mask. I'm here to bust through the walls, break out of the chain of this choir that's all in harmony together. And whether it creates a landslide or creates any other reaction, my authenticity needs to come through in the showcase of my passion. That is how love, I believe, perhaps can truly magnify itself 5,000 times over what the fear elements are. A fearful human being who only lives within the boundary of their own skin, too afraid of ruffling the feathers of others, and man, it's rampant in this world, in my opinion. And this is me calling my honest expression to the forefront in love, so that this belting of my solo, this pushing through, can take place, and I can hopefully become bigger than even what I think I am. And finally, we open up that Reflections Daily Readings, invited and found a pathway, that there's something here going in my local community, figured I'd share that. And finally, we get to this yin-yang. I love the yin-yang, right? The chaos, order out of chaos, chaos from order. So what is this though? Like, obviously not the traditional one. This is in the realm of as below, as above, the roots, branches. And it brings it to the forefront of sadness and happiness. Okay? This is a quote from Osho. The balance in life, the connection between the depths, the darkness, and the light, and air, sunshine. And this is simple, but it is very poignant to this, to recognize and to get myself to a point of appreciation for the mess that has become my emotional energy around this situation that I needed to let go of this week. So I'm just acknowledging here on yesterday, basically, that from sadness to happiness, there's a season. That there's always something growing, there's always something taking place. And whether it's growing slowly or really abruptly, whether there's not that much nutrient in the ground, it's too cold, and the nutrients are suffocated by the season. In that darkness, there is always a little bit of growth. So that when this new season comes, when it comes, not now, not demanding of the season, demanding of God or higher, whatever, your connection of the universe, source, whatever that is for you, that when that season comes, we're prepared and capable of reaping the benefit of survival. That even in those days of just kind of making my way through the trial and the error of my ways, of my behaviors, of my attitudes, I need to appreciate. I need to appreciate right now in this cold season of winter, perhaps, that every little morsel is more satiated, more appreciated, more valuable. As in economics, and the supply runs out and demand increases, the value increases. And just to recognize that when I'm looking at this from that perspective, that just because on the surface everything looks dead, this egoic self, this person that doesn't want to die to itself, underneath the surface is where the maximum growth is always occurring. The deeper I can go, the bigger my branches will go. Not always at the exact same time, but there is a season in conjunction with that, and therein is a balance. Finally, we welcome our Beyond 100 members and move closer to present day, and just observant that a week later from setting these intentions of finally making a conscious choice of saying goodbye to somebody, something, some circumstances. I'm here to have a new experience. And this week, I did a couple things I just want to note. To live in my truth today, to live in these intentions that I've set out for myself, I've been able to have communication and conversations and just deeper, more meaningful experiences this week than I've had in a really long time. I'm so grateful for that. It doesn't happen by just waiting. It never does. It happens when I step out of my comfort zone. It happens when I bring intentions like this to the surface. Because behind the scenes now I can see a possibility forming of writing a daily blog just in this short format that could possibly turn into something like a book, a daily reflection or motivation or things of that nature. But none of that comes to the forefront or my awareness until I start doing it out of my comfort zone, as Van Gogh said. None of this is possible unless I'm willing to do something that's uncomfortable that I don't know exactly how to do yet. I do not know how to write a book, therefore I will write a book. Just a couple words at a time. But if I do that for a full year, then I have a 365-day intention book. If. The condition is the if. And right now, as I'm in a season of utilizing this emotional loss and culturing it through this creative flow, using the chakra energy in my own understanding to kind of have that as my building block, my foundation, that I, Joshua, am willing to move through this, not around this, not to escape, but to embrace and observe this from a framework of gratitude, blessing, not burden. And to thank the universe for the opportunity to do this, to have a new experience today. So here I set that boundary. I just double down on that communication that's necessary, that I can no longer just expect others to do what I emotionally think they should be doing without opening up that opportunity for communication. That is robbing them and robbing me of a blissful relationship, of partnership. So the having a willingness and the stamina to live in my truth daily begins with the attitudes that I have and the values that I've cultivated. It's not about requiring approval, but I'm certainly going to draw these lines in the sand. For me, it was, I can't have avoidance tactics. If you're avoiding me, goodbye. I'm not going to tolerate this silent treatment, which is also a part of that avoidance. And most especially any gossip. I think that is just absolutely ridiculous. To only see with our own eyes and think that that's the truth somehow. And so finally, earlier today, I came across this, passed along from Unlearning the Path to Enlightenment, a great group. And I wrote, one's decision is never a place, but rather a new way of looking at things, that perspective. And it simply says, truth is truth is truth. Obviously from above, from the side, but a little taller than what it was. And then directly as a peer going in the same direction, directly to the side of it. All those are the truth. The only thing that's changed is my relationship to that truth. So I write, a shift of my perspective will not change the truth, only my view of the truth. So by changing my perspective, I can only hope to become more capable of accepting the truth, having now recognized it from multiple angles. So I'm not here to alter the truth. I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to change my relationship with the world. How can I understand the world a little bit better? I'm not here to be understood by you. I'm not here to expect you to listen to 30 minutes worth of a video to listen to this part. But I'm here to do a weekly discussion, set intentions, and have a better new experience this day by that day. And hell, if you're able to watch a video like this and follow along, then thank God that you can do that, because most people cannot. They do not have a desire to do this, and that's okay. And that's where we leave off for the week, right? Going into the next week. We're currently 124 members. 7 Chakra Tiers is kind of on its own path right now. But as a result, just kind of utilizing this energy and valuing myself, getting back to these lower frequencies right here, 528, in that gut frequency, right below the heart, in the heart chakra, really. To be free of the things that I don't no longer need, that were no longer providing any value, where people weren't showing up for me. And it's not about that again as much as it is about where I've been falling short, that in the expectation role, in the over desiring role, and it's a long enough list. And the way that those actions affect others and not allowing others to be free. So if there's anything I can give for Valentine's Day or suggest in terms of Valentine's Day, it was exactly as I believe it was at the beginning. It's just that now I have a new perspective, a new experience, a little validation of this by doing it, not by just speaking it, saying it out loud. That changes nothing. I have to actually do it and show up. I went to church on Sunday. I'm not a Christian. I had great fellowship with the person. Was able to do a tarot reading I hadn't done in a while. I had a long form experience sitting on, here in my living room with a fellow friend, coaching people through meditations and their own journeys. I showed up at a hospital and brought food to a friend who was suffering and needed some just fellowship and friendship and maybe some support. I was able to have longer conversation with people I hadn't talked to in 10 years on the background. I got reached out to by numerous people I would have never otherwise done. Because when I sit in my own suffering of isolation and trying to do things only on my own, unwilling to share, unwilling to be in my personal power and share my creativity, how I show up for this world in the most authentic way I can today, I rob myself of those blessings. And I continue to suffer. And I'm not here in this world to suffer. I'm here to live on an equal plane with those that want the same things as I want. To live fully, to breathe life into this and get in the middle of life, and to be in the flow of life, to have a new experience. Rid of the financial burdens, the fear of how other people are going to respond, the fear of how it's going to have an effect. The reality is I'm not here to cower from the world, Marianne Williams' prayer about fear. If I can remember it, I would probably say it right now already, but I can't. I cannot shrink from the world, basically. And that fear is an illusion. It keeps me in lower levels of consciousness and fear, anger, apathy, guilt, shame. No more. To be courageous, to just put this out there, go freaking live, whatever. Who the hell out here is going to be listening to 35 minutes worth of this nonsense anyway? Well, this is my discussion for the week. I welcome you to Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Having set some intentions around love for the purpose of bringing me to a better, greater understanding of this on Valentine's Day. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to discuss this with you, to share this with you. And Kiwi over here, say hi to her in the comments if you are. Like, comment, subscribe, come along for the journey. I'm tired. It's late or early, depending on how you look at it. For me, it's late. Here, I just want to be able to share a number of different concepts, practices, and invite you to join us, and me, rather, as I move forward this year in pursuit of just these little bits of progress, setting intentions, daily, weekly, monthly, maybe just annually, big projects, small projects, talking stuff, meditating stuff, creative stuff. So if you do find any of this valuable, like more information, please just leave a comment below, reach out. I'd love to get you in contact and invite you to do an interview or whatever else. All you need to know about this channel is it's about love, cultivating something new, in the observation that where I'm coming from is I'm no longer here to hate or to draw lines in the sand between me and others. Never again hate anything. Never again hate X, that variable that stands in the way. So thank you today for your continued support. Please stay tuned for future content. And I wish you a great rest of your day, week, and don't let it be this long, but maybe the next month, to move through other intentions going throughout the year. Subscribe and find me on Facebook, 7 Chakra Tiers. I'll always be here on YouTube as well. So, blessings to you, peace be with you. I'm living my truth without worry. It's medicine for all. Let's do it together.